Do you think you're a failure? Well, stop it right now, because I'm here to tell you why you should be facing failure in your life every single day. I know that sounds crazy, right? But stay with me, hear me out. I'm Selena Faye, your midlife guru, coach, best friend, whatever you want to call me. I'm here to talk all things midlife. And today I'm talking about why you should be facing fear in your life, because I want to help you realize how amazingly awesome you are and help you create the life that you want and, well, frankly, that you deserve. We start facing failures from the time that we're born. Like, you're born as a baby and you're just like this wet noodle, you know? You have no muscle strength, you can't control anything. But slowly you start gaining neck muscles, and then you sit up, and then you start crawling, and then you start walking. But you don't stand up and start walking immediately. I mean, have you ever seen babies try to learn to walk? Personally, my grandbaby right now, it's like 3 months now we've been working on walking. He can stand up and squat and crawl, but he just won't take those steps. But does the baby give up? Does the baby say, oh, I'm not ever going to walk, I'm just going to crawl the rest of my life? No, they keep working at it. They keep working at it. They build those muscles. They finally get that oomph, that excitement, that drive, that whatever is in them that gets them to finally take those first few steps. And those first few steps aren't strong ones. They're not walking like you and I. No, they have to practice it over and over and over and over. And they don't fail at it. They don't quit. The only time you fail at something in life is when you absolutely quit and you say, no. And that's not necessarily failing if you're quitting because you've realized it's not for you. So let's take a deeper dive into that kind of thing. So one of the reasons that you want to face failure is because you learn about yourself. So we should always be wanting to learn about ourselves, right? We should be falling in love with ourselves more every day as life goes on, deeper and deeper and deeper. So let's take the example of relationships. We've all had relationships, I'm sure, maybe some more than others. Every relationship you're in, you learn a little bit more about yourself. When that relationship ends, we all look back at it and automatically, what's wrong with us? What did we do wrong? Well, that's not necessarily the case. It takes two people to make a relationship work, and that's a whole nother video on its own. But you can sit and say, I liked this about this person. I don't like this. I thought I wanted my significant other to have these qualities. I want to add these qualities to it too. You can also learn about yourself. Like, were you super jealous and you're like, I don't want to feel that way. I don't like the way that I felt, and I want to change and work on that behavior. So you want to be facing failures. You want to be trying things. The only way you can face failures is to trying new things. And you want to be doing that because you learn about yourself. It's also an opportunity for a fresh start. This example is the loss of a job. You're at a job, you love your job, you feel like you're doing a great job, and your boss comes in one day and they have to let you go. And they tell you whatever they tell you, or they don't give you a reason at all. They're just letting you go. And you have to move on from that. You can't stay in that place. But this failure in life is an opportunity for you actually to realize, okay, do I like this job? Do I like this job that I'm doing right now? Or is there something else I might want to do? Maybe this is going to give you the opportunity to move across the world and do a different job, or something like this job, but in a different aspect. I had a cousin who joined the Marines out of high school, and then he became a police officer, and he got laid off from his job as a police officer. And as a joke with some buddies, he put in an application to be a manager at Hooters, and lo and behold, he got the job. Crazy, like who would have thought, you know? That was a fresh start. It was an opportunity to him. He failed at being able to remain a police officer, which is what he thought he always wanted to do. And it wasn't a failure, it was actually an opportunity. And that's what most failures in life are opportunities. He became the manager at Hooters and moved up into like a regional area manager for the Hooters Corporation. And now he owns his own plumbing business. So, I mean, life can take us into tons and tons of different areas. Another reason you want to face failure, take those opportunities and grow with them, is that you want to build a resilience. And that means having the ability to figure out how to make it work no matter what. Let's see if I say her name right. Jamie Kern Lima, who started as a waitress, and then she was a little overweight and she had really bad acne, and none of the makeup products that she used worked well for her. So she worked and she created some that worked well for her, and they held her blemishes, and she went to lots of different makeup companies trying to promote her makeup. Do you want to buy it? Do you want to buy it? And she was turned down a lot of times, and a lot of times it was just because of her obesity, the way that she looked. These companies turned her down. Well, she ended up creating her own makeup company that eventually was bought out. Now she's a millionaire, and now she does lots of talks with Oprah Winfrey and Tony Robbins on self-worth and self-love and being resilient. She knew that she created a product that would be helpful to her and to many other people. And she could have just gone to one or two makeup companies and been told no and dropped it, but she didn't. She was resilient. She kept going on. She saw every time that she was turned down, not as a failure, but as an opportunity to go talk to somebody else, an opportunity to make a better speech, an opportunity to become better at sales, until she was able to do so much. And now that experience that she dealt with then, she's now able to take and to inspire people all around the world about increasing your self-worth and your self-love, those types of things. Another thing you can do is it builds your confidence. So I don't remember the lady's name, but she is the maker of Spanx. And I'm pretty sure this is the right story. She says that as growing up, every day when she and her sister would come from her school, instead of at the dinner table talking about how great their day was, their dad wanted them to point out something they failed at during that day, because he wanted to teach them that failure is normal in life and failure is to be expected in life. And yes, you did something great, but if you failed at something, how can you turn that into an opportunity to make your life better? And so it builds your confidence. It makes you know that you can go out there and you can make that happen. Let's say that you're in a lot of debt and you don't like being in a lot of debt and you want to be able to make it on your own. You don't want to have to ask your kids for money or your parents or go out and get another loan because you're already in so much debt. That's a failure because you're in a lot of debt, but it's an opportunity for you to find a way to get out of it. And how can I make more money? What kind of side gigs can I have? Do I need a second job? You go out there and do that and you say, all the money that I make from this is going to go towards paying my debt. And slowly you're chipping away at that debt. And every little bit, every time you pay a bill off, you pay that debt off, you're building your confidence. You're saying, look at me go. I'm so proud of myself. I can do this. This is nothing for me. And you just build that confidence and you build that excitement. And that just helps you so much more. And another reason that you need to be out there facing your failures is because that's how you're going to find your passions. So if you don't ever try anything new, if you don't ever do anything else than what you're doing right now today, you're not going to grow. And we always want to be growing and learning. I mean, we are here on this earth for a very short period of time. Nobody knows how long that time is. And it is for you to grow and experience things. And when we die, the only thing we take with us are our memories and experiences that we have. We don't take any of the material things. So you always need to be growing and learning. And when you focus on your passions, you can face some of your failures because maybe you feel like you can't do it. I know I've used the example before, but I really loved watching the show Cake Boss. And I just thought that it's so fun baking cakes. And I started it and I hated it. It is too tedious. You have to be a perfectionist and that's not me. And I faced it and I realized it's not for me. So I stopped doing it. I didn't quit. I didn't give up in the middle of it. It's not like I had to make a cake for somebody and I quit and bailed at it. I just realized this isn't for me and that's okay. Because everything is not for everybody. Maybe you are an animal lover and you think it would be a great idea. You love animals. I'm going to volunteer at the animal shelter every Saturday for 4 hours. And you do that and you realize, you know what? I like animals, but I like my animals. Or I like looking at other people's animals, but I don't want to be around a bunch of different animals all the time. I don't want to be picking up the poop and the other things that come with besides just playing with an animal. And so you face that passion, you gave it a shot and you realize it's not for you. So move on to your next passion and just keep moving and moving and moving. And while doing that, you're going to find your purpose in life. You're going to find joy in things. You're going to grow as a person. You'll make new friends and life will just be so abundant for you. I'm going to leave you with a recap real quick. So you need to be facing your failures because they're not failures, they're opportunities. Zig Ziglar has a quote that says, failure is an event. It is not a person. And I want you to remember that. You are not a failure ever. There's nothing in this world that you do that is a failure. A failure is an event. Doing something, it doesn't turn out the way that you want it to. You move on to the next thing or find a different way to do that thing. So you want to face your failures, and the way you can do that and the reason you want to do that is you're learning more about yourself. You're building your confidence. You're trying out your passions, discovering your purpose. You're becoming resilient, and it's a fresh start for you to have the life that you want and frankly that you deserve. So until next time, go try stuff, go face those failures and love yourself.